Welcome to the International eSports Show 5, where we... Hey, who turned down the lights? Whatever. In this episode we've got Dragon Bonds are recruiting, World of Tanks at the World Cyber Games, beautiful Korean women, recap of Dreamhack, Red Tide drop Meteor Makers, a pro tip from American Team Simp on how to replace the AMX 1390, and in league and tournament news, we cover the North American, European, Southeast Asian, Korean and Russian Wargaming.net leagues and the GeForce World of Tanks International Open. The Dragon Bonds are recruiting. With the end of Season 1, the inevitable happens. Someone can no longer dedicate their time to the discipline or decide they need a change, or your team just needs fresh blood. For whatever their personal reasons are, several slots are now open inside of Dragon Bonds for you to try and fill. So after watching the European Pro League all season, do you feel like you could play at the same skill level as the players competing? Well, this is your perfect opportunity to step up to the challenge and get involved. Contact Sharthak, Magus or Thorus for further information and how to apply to Dragon Bonds, or keep an eye out on your respective official forums esports section for any other opportunities. World of Tanks has become an official title of the World Cyber Games. If you recall, last year at the WCG, World of Tanks was there involved in some intense action as the finals came down to the Titans of Russia, the Red Rush, China's Wave Knight, North America's Falcon Gaming, and the Vietnamese team Anubis Empire. However, World of Tanks was there as a sponsored game, not as an official title. So this year, we get to be proud that our esports is now invited game to compete alongside only 6 other official titles in this global event in China from November 28th to December 1st later this year. The first qualifiers are in sign up until the 3rd of July for the citizens of the United Kingdom. So if you are a UK citizen with a UK passport and want to get involved, follow this link to Insomnia's website for more details. There are beautiful women in Korea, none more beautiful than the Korean WGL's recap video hosts on YouTube. With the best action and all the results, these short videos are a must for all esports fans. Not to mention a different host each episode, so even if you don't understand Korean, it's still worth a look at on their YouTube channel, GomTV Esports. With Dreamhack over, the European WGL Season 1 champions are now known. The event worked like this. Day 1 would be a double elimination knockout tournament where Mousesports, Spale, Dragon Bonds and Kazna Crew would fight for the chance to take on the top 2 teams from the league, Virtus.pro and Dignitas in Day 2. Although being a fan favourite, things just didn't go right for Spale as they collapsed under the pressure of the awesome hat-wearing Dragon Bonds, and the 15th anniversary winners Kazna Crew lost all their matches. Even though every match ended 3-2, Mousesports managed to win the upper bracket to face Dignitas, leaving Dragon Bonds to face Virtus.pro. On the second day, tensions were high as Dragon Bonds managed to continue to surprise many viewers by nearly defeating Virtus.pro. Then Mousesports did the same against Dignitas, but in the end, both of the Russian teams won. That means it was a Russian on Russian finals as the betting man's favourite went up against the number 2 in a titanic duel that ended with a victory for Team Dignitas, 4-2. This was a crushing blow to Virtus.pro, who went to Dreamhack expecting the win. Many think the team are cursed, as they seem to always fail to get the number 1 spot and having to accept being second. This was no good for morale, thus resulting in a team roster change. Their captain Derp has tweeted he's been kicked from Virtus.pro. So Virtus.pro has decided to recruit from New Star, grabbing Just Cause, Rest in Peace and Koretz. Phew, well, congratulations to Stalker UA and Team Dignitas for overcoming the odds, taking the €45,000 top prize, and commiserations to the runners-up who all share the rest of the €90,000 prize pool. Meteor Makers, the first European-signed esports team, have dropped their sponsor. The team that were originally Red Tide have decided that they didn't want to renew their contract with MYM and instead opened up negotiations with a new Latvian esports team, Denova. So one of the oldest European teams, Red Tide, is no longer MYM but Denova. Today, North American Simp has a pro tip for you on a replacement for the AMX 1390.
Hey, I'm MacG1991 from Simp Gaming, and I'm going to talk to you about an alternative tank to the traditional AMX 1390. The 1390 can be hurt by a tier 1 and suffers from extremely poor accuracy on the move. With a 40-second reload, you also need to make every shot count, which requires that you stop and aim while leaving yourself vulnerable to all enemy fire. You can mask these limitations on maps that have lots of places to hide while reloading, like mines, thus keeping it a preeminent choice. However, the WZ doesn't share these limitations. On maps like Prokhorovka and Steppes, where you're constantly moving with fewer places to hide, the WZ-132 is the better choice. On open maps, the WZ is arguably the best anti-scout compared to other common light tanks such as the T-50-2, T-2 Light, 1390, or the T-71. These scouts are a lot less eager to probe your front line when they know WZs are waiting to kill them. The WZ is a great long-range sniper and chaser with its 85mm gun, which has amazing accuracy and DPM for a Tier 8 light tank. But this isn't the only option for the WZ-132. It also has a 100mm Tier 9 gun that has much higher alpha damage while sacrificing a little bit of accuracy and DPM. So on maps like Prokhorovka and Steppes, you can take a mix of 1390s and WZs. The WZ can play the second line with their 100mm speaking and taking any shots on scouts, which is simply something the 1390s can't do because of their clip reload times. This allows you to soften up the enemy force at range before your brawlers engage, giving you the upper hand. The WZ also has superior maneuverability and traverse speed while keeping the same level of camo and spotting as the AMX 1390. So when the brawl does begin, your WZs are always ready to go, able to dodge enemy support fire much easier, and able to relentlessly engage until their final HP is removed. While viewers might not be as familiar with the WZ as, say, the AMX 1390, which has been around in the game far longer, it definitely adds to the versatility of a team with a lighter tank composition. I'm MacG1991 from Simp Gaming, and I'll see you in the Wargaming League North America.
The Wargaming League North American has found its 16 teams that will compete for their $100,000 prize pool Season 1. Joining the already qualified 8 teams are More Golds, Scurry Hard, Cazadors, River of Blood, Refuse to Die, Simplistic, Ermagard Carvenan, and Nerve. League play starts on the 11th of July, so congratulations to the qualified teams of North America, and eyes will be upon WGLNA.com to follow and see who the real pros are. Season 2 has just begun for the EU, seeing a few team changes and roster changes. Seven Sins, Injection, and WUSA failed in their attempt to gain entry to the Pro League by losing their qualifying matches against the Evil Panda Squad, then Meteor Makers, and Isuba, who will get to stay. However, Team More What DE proved their worth by taking down Alpha, who's therefore no longer in the league. Zausa finishing 12th gets replaced by the Polish team GF Gaming, who won the A-Series, and 11th place Lucky Karaki gets replaced by the Hungarian team Huns Underdogs from Go For What. Stay tuned to whatproleague.com to see the full schedule and watch the matches live. Tanks Asia Season 1 is now in full swing with their league working slightly differently to the EU and NA. There's 3 series: Challenge, Regular, and Masters. Each week, the top 4 teams from the Challenge series goes into the Regular series, and on the top 4 teams of the Regular goes into the Masters. This does mean the reverse is also true, with the 4 being demoted each week. Each team in the Master Series gets awarded points per week, and the 8 teams with the most points at the end of the 9-week season will be going to the season offline finals. Remember, tanksasia.net is the place to go to catch up with the latest VODs or to find out when the next livestream will be. The Korean Open season will be coming to a close on the 29th of June with a battle between Draki and the Revolt of Draki. This game promises to be one of the most tense and close games you've ever seen. The battle will commence at 10 AM Central European Summertime, so make sure you tune in to gomtv.net/what to watch in English, or whatleague.com if you want Korean. The Russian Golden League recently finished with the Rush taking the top spot away from New Star. The biggest surprise was that Rush came from the losers bracket, not the winners, after losing 3rd place to GRA-TM. Season 2 will start on the 8th of July, and the channel for the English stream is twitch.tv/WGLeagueRU_ENG. The GeForce International Open is in full swing, with all the regions currently in their bracket knockout phase, which concludes over the next few weeks. The regional finals take place on the 13th of July for all regions, which will give the winners an all-expense paid trip to the offline finals to compete for the 50,000 prize pool and top-of-the-range NVIDIA graphics cards. That's all for today. Be sure to let us know what you like and what you want to see more of on your respective portals article or in the comments below. See you next time.